Good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday. How is everyone? Good morning. Welcome to Chimi's Creative Club. As you know from the title, we are not going to paint today. I am sorry. Let me move my microphone so it's not like all up in my face. But what we are going to do is, as the title states, don't forget your crown. So before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to Renee. Renee, I hope you have the best day. I cannot wait to hear all about it later. To Miss 808, I know that she's going to be here a little bit later, possibly, but you know, she's doing her thing too. If Miss Terry can make it, wonderful. Those are my mods. They're amazing. But we're going to just, kiiiii today. We're going to talk. We're going to do lots of things. So I'm very excited to have you here. First things first, next Saturday, there will not be a creative club. The only reason why is because I got things to do. Okay. So I cannot be here. If I decide to go live during the week, I will let you know. But next Saturday morning, we're going to have to take a rain check. Okay. It's Memorial Day weekend. I hope all of you, especially in the States, and I hope that you have plans and you're barbecuing and doing whatever it is that you need to do. Good morning, my beautiful, beautiful Terry. Miss Christina, good morning, good morning, good morning. The second announcement is, what was the second announcement? The brain fog is kicking already this morning. The brain fog. We'll probably figure it out along the way. But anyway, let's get started because I do have a hard 12 p.m. end time today. If I can end earlier, I might. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. That was the second announcement. I might have to end a little bit earlier than 12. But if we, go to 12 or we end earlier, it's fine. So again, first announcement, no live next Saturday morning. If I decide to do something, I will let you know. And if it works out, I'll keep you posted. So be sure that you have what's the YouTube thing? Have your notifications on, okay? Have your notifications on. And if not, then, we'll do it a different day. My cat is going over there. Okay, good. Go look out the window. There might be a bird. I don't know. And then second announcement, again, I forgot the brain fog. My God. Anyway, so don't forget your crown. Today, I am going to show you one of my other passions that I love to do. I kind of alluded to it last time. Good morning, Miss Greek Princess. Girl, we need to change it to Greek Queen. Oh, stop. But speaking of, yes, so crown. We need to talk about our crowns. So one of my many passions is to create crowns, flower crowns in particular. And that's what we're going to do today, because if you were here last week, you will know that I kind of alluded to it and also showed on my phone terrible images, by the way. But we're going to create a flower crown. So I have my friend here. We have to give her a name. I don't know yet, but we'll give her a name. She has her headband. It's a 2-inch wide headband already ready. And I like the 2-inch headbands because they have a lot more space to hold all of the flowers. Miss Karen D. Hello, Miss Karen D. It's beautiful out and you're here with me? Stop. Thank you so much for being here. So yeah, so we have our little, our girl here. We need to give her a name. If you have any good suggestions, put it in the chat, please. So we have her with her headband, and then I'm going to show you two of my favorite crowns that I've made as of recent. One being this one, which is so stunning. Oh, and one of the jewels is coming up. Not you embarrassing me this morning. We don't know her, okay? But this one, I love it. It's just so pretty on. Oh, stop it. It's giving fall 2024 because I think that's when I made it. That's how recent it is. And then this one I did for Halloween. Also this one that's coming up next. This one. It's kind of like legendary. I mean, stop it. So yeah, so as you can see, some of the headbands, some of the flowers are kind of wide. So that's why you want to get a wider headband. But stop it. The little detail here. Oh. And let me tell you something, okay? You can go on Amazon and you can buy a flower crown, but let me tell you that it is more cost effective possibly to be able to just go to Michael's when they have those big sales. Anyone a Michael's fan in here? Put a cartwheel in the chat if you love Michaels like I do, because they always have like the little flower section. That's where all of these flowers came from. So you can get like a bunch of these flowers for like $1, a headband at the, the dollar store as well. What you really need to invest in is a hot glue gun. This one I've had forever, so I apologize, I don't have a name for it. And then they have a lot of different craft glue and stuff like that, but during my time when I was doing cakes and makeup looks, I would make these crowns as well to go on top, to wear it, to do the makeup look to match that, and then have a cake to match this whole thing. So that was my vibe way back when, a few years ago. So because of the sake of time, I'm going to start heating up my glue gun. That doesn't fall off the table. Gracias very much. And let's get started. How are we feeling this morning? Thank you all for being here. Yes, good morning, everyone. So while she's getting nice and warm, when she starts, getting out there. Oh, and in terms of glue sticks, I personally love, like, if you know Gorilla Glue, you already know nothing's coming off, okay? So I use these. These are great. So highly recommend if you want to start doing any type of like craft work, this glue stick with these glue sticks are fantastic for that. They won't come off, seriously. And then now for flowers. What are we feeling today? So I feel like because it's spring, I want to do something a little bit, I keep all of my flowers when I buy them. I put them in color-coded bags because, hi, have we met? I'm very organized. So I have lots of pinks and purples. How are we feeling? What do we think? I feel like we should kind of go the pink purple route. That's just me, but I want to hear what you think. What are people feeling in the chat? Maybe a little bit of a yellow. I mean, I have bags on bags on bags on bags of these guys. Oh, and look, if let's say you want to have like a tea party for your friends, us ladies, I had made this as well. How cute is that? For like a bridal shower, like stop it. She's giving royal, okay? And then I added all the little jewels in like little spots there. So look, the whole point of all of this is please get creative, do something fun, and let's learn a skill. So let's get started. So how are we feeling? Do we want, maybe I'll put a poll because now I know how to do that. Hold on one second. As my cat is using the litter box over there. Thanks. You're always on time. Let me see. I think it was in this section, possibly, or over here. Let me check. We'll put a poll. Yes. Okay. What colors, I'm going to use the British version of saying it. What colors are we using today? Question mark. Okay. Option 1, pinks and purples. Not me capitalizing everything like, do y'all hear that? Oh, we chose violence this morning, didn't we? You know what? I got to make noise so people don't have to hear how rude you're being right now. Wow. You couldn't think about that earlier? Of all the lives, today you decide. Okay, está bien. That's fine. Anyway, pinks and purples. We can do pinks and yellows. I think I like that too. Add an option, purple and yellow, which kind of goes with the painting from last week, which, by the way, thank you everyone for liking, for viewing the short. Like, did not expect it to get to that point. Like, could not believe it. But thank you so much for everyone taking the time to like view stuff. I think that, and then we'll add one more, just, you can do whatever you like, okay? You can do whatever you like. Mira, are you done? If you hear that, I apologize, but I don't at the same time because this is real life. This is live. You know what? And let me tell you something about cats while we're at it, okay? He does all of this, right? But then there's litter still everywhere. Like, I mean, are you not? He's on the side like this. We have the mat, and then I still find, like, you step on the floor and it's like, you feel the little grains. We use Pretty Little. She's very pretty. But I'm like, sir, like, you go through all this drama. You make your announcement. You have to be so extra. You got to, put your paw on the side of the thing. And then you still have litter everywhere. So, like, Yeah. All right. So last one. Option 4. You can make whatever you like. You can make whatever you like. Exclamation points. All right. And not you capping me at the exclamation points. All right. But anyway, create and start and show. What does that mean? I think I did a thing. Let me know if you can vote. Let me know. Yes, I wish we could potty train them too, because honestly, it's it's a lot, you guys. It's a lot to have a gato. Okay, a gato. He's very cute though. He's a very sweet, sweet boy. But like, geez. So the colors are. I hope this poll works. I haven't used this before, so if you're able to see a poll, let me know. If not, then you could just say 1, 2, 3, or 4, and whatever number we get the most of is what we're going to work on. Because listen, she's ready. She's ready to be used. So let me bring my girl here. My girl, put her right here. And if the poll doesn't work, you guys, it's really fine. Okay, it's fine. All right, so let's get our girl here. Let me position my camera a little bit like that. Ooh, purple and yellow. Y'all want me to do the purple and yellow to match the painting, don't you? Don't you? I see you. Let's see. Number 3, purple and yellow. It's a good idea, though. And cheers. Buenos dias. Buongiorno. What's another one? Bon dia. I've got my beveragino. I hope you have your beveragino. I have some iced coffee today with some almond milk. I was feeling the non-dairy option today, so excuse me while I take a sip because I'm very, very parched. Fantastico. This is a double shot Nespresso. It's the sucro or whatever it's called. The sucro. Oh, we're getting the votes in. Let's go. Miss Karen D. You're Christine. It's all right. Look, I love the purple yellow. I think it's beautiful too. So you know what? Let's start with the purple and I'll have the yellow close by. Let's see if we have enough of the yellow. Yeah, we have enough and we'll make it work regardless because that's something that I like to preach about. It's you don't need to have everything, but you can make something beautiful with what you already have. You don't have to go the extra mile. And just like that's a part of the creative process that's really fun is to take something and make something out of nothing. So, all right. So I'm going to leave it there for the sake of time. Actually, let's give it like 1 more minute. Can I do a 1 more minute? I'm not going to do that for a minute, but you know what I mean, okay? I'm going to open these, though, okay? Let's take a look-see. I haven't looked at these in a little while. Stop. Already. Iconic. Anyway, so, yeah, you know what, you guys? We're going to do whatever I like / pinks and purples. I know, sorry, purple and yellow. Okay, so we're going to kind of play on the painting that we did last week. So while we're here, let me sort through some of these flowers and I'll show you kind of like my process. So what I like to do in these circumstances is be surprised. Like I love to see what I have and then just kind of arrange them. And I like to do a variety of colors because all of like when you're creating stuff, like it's nice to have options, despite the fact that options are very abundant. Thank you, God. Okay. We want to make sure that everything kind of like picks up off of each other. So you don't have to just stick to just one shade of purple, like one shape. What makes these flower crowns really fantastic and really beautiful is that we have so many different options in here. The gold stuff though, those leaves, I don't know if I have any more leaves. If we don't finish today for whatever reason, I will kind of like add some more. But Karen D, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. It's Karen D. I love her. I love all of you, obvi, okay? Period. But yeah, so you just want to just make sure, like, I like to just like kind of go through the bag and see what I got and just be surprised. Like I'm feeling the roses. Like, look at how pretty. She's cute. I love this one the best for the center. What do we think? This one or this one? I feel like this one. This is one, this is two. What do we think? It's giving peony. And I don't know what this flower is. I should become more educated on like what different flower names are, but this is one, this is two. What do we think? I think I'm gonna go with this, even though I feel like, you know what? It's whatever I like, right? So I'm gonna do this. So this is gonna be our centerpiece. So that's how I like to work. I like to know, so let me hold on. Before I do that, let me get rid of this pole. Let me find it. Let's get rid of it. Okay, hide. Wait, stop poll, and yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's go back here. There we go, Christy. I see you, girl. So with our girl here, let me see if I do this. All right, you're not gonna see her whole gorgeous face, but that's okay. So I like to work with having a centerpiece, and if this is our centerpiece, it's gonna look very silly in the beginning, okay? It's not gonna look that great, but it's okay. Work with it. So all of this is to figure out the positioning. And actually this is kind of fire because I can show you the process and also see what I'm doing. She will be moving a lot just because, you know, I need to be able to see what I'm doing so that I don't burn myself. But anyway, I think I like this positioning here. And ideally what you want to do is make sure that the petals are laying kind of flat, even when you position your florals. You don't want to have it like, you know, I mean, these are all pretty flat flowers, but for example, something like this, you want this petal to kind of cover part of the headband there, okay? So for this one, let's see the best positioning. I feel like that's legendary, that's iconic, that's pretty too, so either one works. I'm gonna stick with this one, and I'm gonna glue this one into the position there. So we got a nice juicy flower that we're gonna glue. So I'm gonna take the glue gun, and you're just gonna add some here, and we're gonna press this first floral in. So why are we making a flower crown today? Well, I'm so happy you asked. Ladies and gentlemen, if there are any gentlemen, but I know the ladies are here, okay. Flower crowns, why a crown? So I will get into chakras and all that stuff at some point, but our crown is our main chakra up here, right? And what I've been noticing lately after being on the online space is, you know, when you feel like people are playing with your mind, you can't really pinpoint exactly what it is, but you know something's off, right? That's exactly it. Aside from people coming for your crown, trying to knock it off and, you know, do whatever, the other thing is the spiritual aspect of protecting your crown space and how important it is in today's world, especially because a lot of us are not informed in the spiritual aspect of, like, not only are we physical beings, we are also spirit. We carry a soul. And sometimes when we're in environments where you feel like something's not right, or you see like kind of things in your life start going a certain way, not that that's happening to me currently, but in the past it has happened, where like things start to happen that they're not working out, you feel tired, you feel exhausted. That, my friends, is spiritual warfare, and that's people coming for your crown and for your third eye to be able to see with your spiritual lens. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because there's a lot of y'all that are more spiritual than you're letting on, okay? You don't have to profess to be a spiritual person. It could be because you're religious. It could be because you follow whatever practice, you meditate, whatever it is. There's a lot of people, men and women, who are very spiritual. And they don't have to say it. Some people carry a power, a gift of being able to speak things into existence, to be able to manifest things into existence. And we're not really educated on when spiritual attacks happen, or when people speak ill about us, or they speak a certain way towards us, they create this negativity, this negative energy directed at us. We are not educated on how to protect ourselves from those things. Prayer obviously is like paramount, okay? And speaking of, God Father, Mother, God, thank you for protecting the stream, my people in the chat, and from all the deviants that are lurking. Okay. God bless y'all. But this stream, everything that I speak of is of divine knowledge. It's of what I have learned, and comes with love and light. So prayers up to everybody. Cheers to that. Okay. Thank you. Hold on one second. So to segue back into what I was saying, it's that we're not equipped with the tools on how to properly protect ourselves. And it's not because, people have bad intentions, but, people do have the possibility to, project things your way. And then, you feel like you had like a good day, and then out of nowhere, you feel terrible. Where is that coming from? It's not always very obvious. Sometimes it's like, you think you know someone, and then they're doing dirty things behind your back, and that's a form of spiritual manipulation. It's like, I wish this person loses it all type of thing, right? But here's what I'm going to give you the tea, girl, okay? But before we get into that, we're going to go into the yellows. And Miss Maria, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Period. We're making a flower crown, and we're talking about how to protect our crown and our spirit, our energy. So before we get into the continuation of that part on how to freaking defeat that, let's go into the yellow. Since we're doing purple yellow, I love these little flowers. Very cute. I feel like this one goes a little bit more, right? Because it has that very flowy, very like delicate touch to it. But I also really like these for the contrast. So I'm just going to play around with it. And so, Miss Maria, since you just got here, let me move my girl. Here, stay right there. Don't move. Thanks. So I've made flower crowns, this being one of them, and this is another one. I have a lot, but like these are two of my favorites just because the colors, they're just gorgeous, to be honest. And that's just, my opinion, allegedly for entertainment purposes, is my taste, okay? Is what I like to do. Anyway, you don't have to like it, but I like it. And I know Miss Maria would like it. Okay. All right, back to this. So I'm going to start adding some yellows because the whole point in all of these crowns is to create a focal point and then kind of build around it. You can go as high as you want to go. You might need some supports, but for now, we're just kind of like setting the foundation with having our focal point and kind of working around it. So we're not educated on how to protect our energy and how to protect our spirit, because I'm going to share a story. There have been times where like I'll talk to people and, we'll be talking about something, and then out of nowhere, someone close to us or someone within a tangent on the outside starts talking about it as well. But they weren't in the conversation. Not creepy at all, but that type of stuff tends to happen, like those things tend to happen. So what you end up realizing is, look, if that is occurring, that to me signals there is a monitoring spirit entity or some type of attachment in your auric field that is leaking, that allows for these things to come in. Because when you engage with somebody, when you make friends with people wear this meat suit is a part of your mask. You can't see what's behind unless you use your spiritual lens. So when you are engaging with people, that connection is already opening a door, right? In the physical and also in the spirit. So you know how you'll meet people and you'll be deceived because you're like, there's no way they turned out like this. Like, how is it possible? Like they're really good at wearing a mask. It's like that, right? Because whatever's lurking behind the eyes is not pure, is not of divine light. So today I'm going to teach you what I do now, because now that this has happened a couple of times, and my mods can be my witness, okay? We've been there, we've seen it, okay? We're going to talk about how you don't have to consent to it, okay? Your energetic field, let me start working because look, it's already almost 10:30, all right? Your energetic field is your authority, okay? God gave us all a spirit and a soul and a vessel, and we are responsible for maintaining it. So if that type of situation starts to happen where you start to hear people like these weird occurrences that don't make sense. And it's too much of a coincidence that something like this is occurring. And there's no way possible that these people could have known, could have seen, could have heard whatever it is that you're going through. That is a form of spiritual lurking, okay? And people do it with divination, tarot. People do it with mediumship. People do it with, just talking to people, finding their like-minded, what is it? Birds of a feather flock together is that type of thing. They find each other. All these entities find each other and they like work together to try to scry. There's lots of ways to be able to tap into somebody's energetic field, but you don't have to allow that to happen. And what I think that needs to be taught is spiritual consent. Now, we teach our kids boundaries, and hopefully all of the people in the chat understand boundaries. Hello, Magic. Thank you so much for being here. She spit scripture at me and I was like that, Chimi. Listen, even the scripture folks, you got to be careful with these people, okay? But, if I'm telling you this stuff, it's because more so it's to put y'all on game that, even the scripture folks they don't have the best intentions. So the whole point is to remember that you don't have to consent. And how you say that is, I don't consent to being spied on. I don't consent to having my energy looked into without my consent. I don't allow people to project negativity. I don't allow, and I don't consent for someone to use my name, even in a good way, to hide behind their poor intentions or whatever intentions they think they're hiding. And anything that is sent to me, I redirect it to the Most High God to redeliver it back to that person as he sees fit. Now, what does that mean? What are we doing when we do something like that? So when you redirect it back to God, we've talked about this, honey. I can only see with these two eyes, and I can only see what's right here. I cannot see what's happened across the street, in another state, in another country, in the ocean, in the sky. But God can, as an omnipresence, right? So if instead of people would be like, do return to sender, I don't believe in that. Because you don't know all of the cues and puzzle pieces to be able to know what you're sending back. Because depending on where you're at in your healing journey, you assume that somebody is doing X, Y, and Z, but what if you're wrong? That's a risk I'm not willing to take. So I would rather redirect it to God, because God ultimately will know how to redirect the energy. So I don't have to wish negativity on you. I don't have to say that I hope you get exposed. No, if you're doing bad things, you will be exposed. All of us have done something bad and we've all been called out on it. We've all had a moment in our lives that yes, things happen. But the difference is what happens when you have that evil eye on you and people trying to be all up in your energy because they try to siphon it. They see something in you that they wish they could have for themselves. So they get close to you and butter you up like a Thanksgiving turkey. What do you do in those scenarios? You have to be able to make sure that you keep your energy, your auric field, your energetic field, your physical, your crown protected, because otherwise people will exploit it. And that's a part of being human here, is that ignorance is bliss, but also ignorance can be a reason why you're stagnant in your life. Because if you're not prayed up, if you don't have a practice to keep you grounded, there's a lot of people who can look into your future, into what you're doing, who pretend not to be about that life, but you know that they are. Okay? A lot of these religious folks out here, they don't move very religious, okay? Like, is this what Jesus would do? I don't think so. Jesus is going to the witch doctor? I don't think so. It's giving that. So you have to be careful how you put yourself out there and know that you have a practice to be able to keep yourself secure and protected within your space. So, good morning, beautiful. Miss 808 is in the house. My girl. So, we already know we talking all the things today. So right now, as we say hello to Miss 808 and welcome her and her beautiful soul here, I'm just adding now next to the yellow flowers, these adorable little purple ones to kind of pick up on the purple from the center and just kind of placing them like this. Oh, stop it. So pretty. And again, just making sure the petals kind of cover, because when you put the headband on, you want to make sure that, like, if let's say you have a different color headband, the petals kind of help disguise it and it kind of blends into your hair. So it actually works out better that way. All right, so we've got a couple here. And here's the other thing. When you start to make these crowns like this, we've got our ears, right? So you got to make sure that you're able to measure and gauge where to stop the flowers. So that way they're not like stabbing your ears or giving you these, okay? No shade. I mean, look, at this point with the many crowns that I've made, I wish my ears were a little bit more out so I can add some more detail, but we work with what we have. And another great tip is you want to work a little bit heavier in the center and then kind of use smaller flowers towards the bottom. So that way it kind of just like does this nice little crown shape without it having like things sticking out and it looks a little weird. It just is a little more seamless in that respect. So let's keep adding some more florals. Oh, not you popping up. Let me look at my yellow bag. Now that we said hello to Miss 808. Hi, girl. Cheers to you and to everyone in the chat. Miss Maria, everyone, thank you. To the lurkers, cheers to you too. I see you. Even in the spirit. Anyway, so back to it. Let me look in this little bag here and see what else we're going to add. I might add some orange similar to what we did to the painting to give it a little bit more of a pop. But I'm going to take some out so that way we have it as an option. Let me see what I have for orange. I love these little guys. Look at how cute these are. I've had these for years. And I've just been saving them because I'm like, you know what? Maybe one day I'm going to do a stream and here we are. So I also love these. Like, even though it's giving a little bit more end of summer, fall, I'm okay with that. Like, I do like the contrasts in the colors. So as I was saying, you have to be sure that you understand how to protect your energy in these places because there's a lot more spiritual people out here than you know, okay? They don't have to announce it. A lot of them don't because it's a means in which they can hide behind what they're doing. So here's another thing. Growing up, there were certain things that I was taught as a Latin person who grew up in this type of environment where witchcraft, those type of things were very common in Latino culture, especially. I can only speak to that experience. And, you realize that like when you're around this type of stuff, things are, you can't see it, but you feel it. And a part of it is one of the things that I knew very young and very early is you have to be cautious of who cuts your hair. Okay, not everybody can touch your hair because what? The crown. Your hair is also an extension of your energy. And you can't, like when you go places, you can't eat at everybody's house. Okay, because you don't know if that's actually some seasoning, honey. What kind of seasoning? From where? El Diablo seasoning? The special? Is that what we're getting today? No, you got to be careful with what's being put in your food, whose home you go to, where you leave your clothes. Because whoever is the person on the other side with the bad intentions and they have access to your actual DNA, like who has your pictures? Like when people send pictures of their kids during the holidays, I understand it's a tradition, but look at the system in which it's going through before it gets to the person you intended to go to. What eyes and hands are touching that? And your kids being the most vulnerable, most purest souls are a target, right? So you got to be mindful of that. So, and especially with the clothes thing, you got to be careful where you send your articles of clothing, even where you do your laundry. And I'm not trying to freak people out and scare people, because obviously, like, we know, like, all of this stuff is also dependent on how prayed up you are, and it's not to instill fear, but it's just to instill some sort of education, because a lot of us aren't familiar with these things. And sometimes the occurrences that happen in our life, the missed opportunities that we have, aren't only directed to, like, oh, well, it wasn't meant for me, or damn, like, I keep losing out on something. What is going on? It might be spiritual. Okay. So I really want people to understand that you have more power within your realm to be able to say no. No is a complete sentence. I do not consent, period. And especially when people try to use your name to cover up their stuff, I don't consent. I do not consent. I don't care if it's appearing that you're trying to have my back. Oh, I love this person. Da, da, da. No, I don't consent, even that. Because that's a perception, that's a narrative without full context or without a full story. I don't consent, honey, no. But what I will say is that may God reveal the truth in due time. I have no control over that, because God's time, honey, comes in clutch. I have no control over that. But I'm not going to allow people, places, and things to abuse my name. No, I don't consent. So what does that do? That sends an energetic, like, phone call, an alarm to the ethers, to basically be like, can't do that. This person is aware, and you cannot do that anymore. So now what ends up happening is that cord is now cut. There has been a signal sent to the universe, to God, to be like, Lord, I don't know what's going on, but I don't consent to this. I don't consent to deception. I don't consent to anyone using my name, my likeliness, in any type of way to disguise their own issues, whether good or bad. I don't consent to that. So what that does is that he gets the postcard. He gets the I do not consent postcard. And he's like, and your spirits, your guides, your ancestors, they're like, oh, now we have to say that if we hear it and we see it, karma's here, baby. Yes, karma's here. Don't play. And I'm here to educate the people, because some of y'all need to know that I'm on to you. I see what you're doing. It's not going to work, because I'm teaching the people. I'm putting people on game for their own protection, because this is something now you pass down to your children. Okay? Why you think back in the day people had amulets and things to wear? It's intentional. People cover their heads. You see people like that's a real thing. They cover their crown. And it's because they don't want that energy from the outside to lurk into your thoughts, or to access, we're going to learn a new term today, your Akashic records. How many of you know what Akashic records are? I would love to know that in the chat. And P.S., here's where we are. How gorgina already. So pretty. We need some more yellow over here. But you see, like, I love adding like different shades so that they all kind of marry together. And then like that little pop of yellow, beautiful. So I'm going to go in and see if I have any more of these yellow flowers. Although I think I want to go in. What do we think? Do we want to do more of that yellow, or do we want to start moving into this and then add a little bit of that lighter yellow? I'm feeling that. Because then I'm also going to add some of it here. So the idea is, you see what I mean? Do we like that? I think it's cute. She's very cute. Okay, we're going to keep going with the flow and just see where it goes. And then that also, because it's kind of like in the darker yellow towards the orange, it kind of like starts to pick up the orange, so we can add pops of that as well. So, I mean, at this point, you guys, like, I think that we just have to, information is what we need. We need people to start teaching that if we are spirit, why are we not educated on how to protect it? We're only told, like, you go to the doctor and they're like, oh, eat this for your high blood pressure, and don't do this, and work out, and eat your protein, eat your avocado, eat this, eat that, do this, do that. but then nobody's teaching the spiritual practice. So you're only taking care of the vessel, but you're not taking care of what's inside. It's like you're doing maintenance on your home, but you don't clean the inside. You don't protect the inside. You have everything a mess and disheveled. No, you people need to be aware that nowhere in the Bible does it say that you cannot do certain things to protect yourself, protect your energy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Miss Boston Bia? Stop it. What's up? Mi reina, buenos días. Ay, Dios, yo no sabía que ibas a estar aquí. Ay, qué milagro, qué lindo. Ay, qué bendición. Thank you so much for being here. We're making a crown, girl. Listen, since you weren't here earlier, let me show you. Proud mom moment and proud moment period. Look at, mira esta belleza. I did that. Yes, I did that. And I did this one too. It's very cute. Mira que lindo. She's giving fall moods. She's like, I want to maybe pick an apple. I might want to make some apple juice, some apple cider, you know? This one is very much, give me a margarita. Yes, give me a margarita, girl. Yes, yes, yes. And now I'm teaching all of you how to do it. This is my girl. Mira, buenos días. Hola, ¿cómo estás? I don't want her to be rude. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Okay, so we are talking about how to protect our spiritual house when we're not necessarily educated on it. And listen, for all my church-going people, I love you. I have no disrespect towards those who choose to practice whatever faith they choose, whether it's church, whether it's a spiritual practice, whatever religion, etc., Buddhism, Islam, Muslim. To me, it's like, as long as you have some type of faith in something bigger than you to keep you grounded in reality, I'm here for her. Okay, I'm here for that. But other than that, you know, a lot of it too is that some of that information has been edited, has been destroyed, has been gatekept because those who have nefarious intentions don't want you to be privy on how to protect yourself. So earlier I mentioned who knows about Akashic records. I'm curious to know how many people know about that because I'm in the process of learning about it as well. And I can give you a little bit of a gist of what it is. Hi, Miss Melanie. Yes, it was my birthday. You guys, I'm in my 40s. I can say that now. How iconic is that? I love it. I mean, what a blessing. Thank you, God, for giving me for the privilege of another day of life, because you realize, like, once at least for my own perspective now, is that you get to this point and you're like, yeah, I'm halfway there officially, like hopefully longer than that. Although, like, if I can't take care of my own function and body, and I'm like on a tube, it's like, mira, mándame pa'l cielo, aka send me to the heavens at that point. I don't want to be like linked up and you're just holding on to me. Absolutely not. I want to be a la Frida Kahlo. I'm going to burn all my shit with me. Okay. Like, cremate my ass, turn me into a tree. Okay. That's what I want. I want to be a tree. I want to bring you allergies. No, I'm kidding. But also, like, how iconic that I got to spend time with Lana from Truth and Transparency. Whoever was there, thank you for supporting. Lana is truly, like, I love that girl. Like, I know that a lot of her perspectives can be misinterpreted as a little too out of the box, but I really appreciate that she's willing to think outside of the box and really just have that opinion. And even if it's not something that people agree with, it's okay. Like, she's truly herself. And she also, if she's wrong, will hold herself accountable. But MASH, the TV edition, hilarious. Like, that was a lot of fun. And that idea came to me out of nowhere, like the morning before. And I had emailed her and I was like, girl, what if we do MASH? Like, what if we bring the nostalgia to the people of like what we used to do as kids? And she was such a great sport about it. I mean, it got a little raunchy. I did have a little tequila, period, because it was like my last day in my 30s. Leave me alone. And it was just so fun. Like, she's just so fantastic. And I'm just so grateful to have met her and for the opportunity. Like, did not expect that. Like, I did not expect her to like be like, hey, you want to come on my show? And I'm like, me? Me? I'm not that special, yo. Like, thank you. Yes, I would love to. So it's just nice to do something a little bit more lighthearted and just so fun because y'all already know the space has been a little dark for a long time. So it's just nice to like poke fun and just and not poke fun at any people. I know that the topic is very controversial. I get it. But it's just nice to have some fun with it and just bring some humor and some lighthearted energy. So I'm just very grateful Lana was able to do that and that I got the chance to spend time with her. I really did not expect it, you guys. Like, it was very, very cool. Like, I'm very grateful. So look at this progress. Stop. So cute. Thank you, Melanie. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like please, if you go on the replay, please go watch it. It was a really fun time. Like she just is just so funny. Like love her. And thank you to everyone who was able to make it and to experience it live. Like doing this live stuff is very hard, but I think I'm starting to get a little bit more of a knack for it. So I'm very grateful that I can do that. So that is going there. That is going there. I mean, what are we doing? So we're putting you right here, baby. Right here. We need you right there. Yes. She's like, hi, I want to rent this spot right here on the crown. I got you, girl. You have secured yourself right there. Look at that. Look at this progress. The only thing about hot glue is like you get all these little strings and then I'll just see strings like, floating in the air. I'm like, Spirit, is that you? No. So here we go. Now we're adding a little bit more of this. And for, when you do the hot glue, you have to hold it down just a little bit to make sure that the flour sticks. And look at this. Look at this. Look at these little webs of glue, Gorilla Glue, Anyway, so let's hold this here. Thank you, right? And this is like with flowers that are $1 at Michael's. Whenever they have a sale and then I have the 40% coupon and whatever, they try to like drag you in there. They're like, here, have 900% off. I'm like, it's free. Let's go. Like, I'll spend $40 and have like a giant bag of like florals that the only thing is like you have to take them off the sticks and all that stuff. But I mean, when I was doing this a lot more consistently, I was making flower crowns like all the time and just like trying to like do a makeup look to do the cake. So it just became like a lot of like creative juices, but I don't take that for granted because in a world of AI, being a human creative is a beautiful thing. So let's see, let's hold her down. She still needs to be held down a little bit here, but she's very cute there. Very cute. So how are we doing in the chat, my beautiful ladies? What does everyone have for the people in the States? Memorial Day weekend is already next weekend. We are already in June, if you really think about it. Oh, and P.S., today is the new moon in Taurus. In Taurus, yes, it is. So it's a great time right now to set positive intentions for yourself. And it's probably why I felt called to talk about, spiritual protection and also knowing to basically say no and that I don't consent to my energy being toyed with or for people to use my name, my likeliness, etc., to cover up their bad intentions, good or bad. It's good to do that because, now's a good time to do it. And, those practices, if you really think about it, before religion, people were praying to the moon, praying to the sun, thanking nature for their harvest. And then once text became available, it became this eradication of the way things used to be, the way people naturally were able to praise their higher power. And it became now you have to follow a book and you need to pay your way into heaven, as if you take any of that when you die. That's the duping for me. We have people out here in the Renaissance period, and not Beyonce's Renaissance, not you want back my stuff, not that one. It's, the hear ye, that era, that people were really out here being like, I need to make money so that I can guarantee my spot in heaven. Like, y'all had me. I'm sure I was probably in the Renaissance era. Like, absolutely not. I was a rebel from day one. Okay. My soul has a rebellious energy to it. It's like, I will not comply. No, no, I don't consent. Guillotine, like possibly ideals. No, 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 not in 2026. Okay. Or after. Okay. But it's very much that, right? Like people used to have a more like a different practice where even when they went to church, like, they practiced more on praying and being more intentional about things. And before text, people were just, grateful for the animals. They were learning from nature. They were learning patience. They had more time to be able to reflect and weren't distracted with all of this crap around here. But now that we all have chosen to be on this earth at this particular time, there is a resurgence of finding meaning and purpose and knowing how to protect yourself during these times when it feels like certain entities and things like that know that their time is up, because God was like, listen, it's only been like 200 and something thousand years. I mean, how are we going to drag these souls for all this long? Some of them don't want to do this anymore. Me, I don't. I'm sure some of y'all don't. Unless I come back to only be like a flower girl. Okay, a flower crown queen, somebody who could do the internet, somebody who's not going to be spiritually messed with. If we're going to do that route, I might consider. But ultimately, even that, like if God is like, look, I need you to go back there, down there and sass them again, you're getting sassy. Okay, so let me let this kind of dry a little bit, because some of these pieces, so I want you to see the back. So you know how like all of these flowers have like these little edges and these little stems. When this hits very hot glue, it'll start to melt. That's just a part of it. But what you want to do is just be very cautious when you press it down. And the good thing about having these stems is that it also provides the structure for the flower to be able to stand upright or whatever position you want it in. If, let's say, some of the flowers are giving you a little bit of trouble and they're being very, very naughty, what you can do is glue some of the petals to the other ones to kind of position things a little bit differently. So let's leave her here. So now we're getting very much into the orangey yellows. The purple is very much in the center, and I'm going to start adding some more purple like in this area, but I want to not stick to this one. And this one kind of is hiding over here. So you see what I mean? Like some of these are hiding. They're like, oh my God, don't look at me. Girl, I want to see your ass. Yes, we're going to like, see, oh, peekaboo, I see you right there. All right. And then we can kind of like move these and shift these around. And towards the end, we'll kind of like finagle all this stuff. So let's go in with some other purples. Now I want to go in with not this exact purple, because if I'm going to repeat this, it's going to be after it comes, like it has to be like after another color or another type of flower. So that way it breaks up the monotony. So even here, like I'm trying to bring out this purple as well. I'm going to probably add another purple here to kind of break this up, because I don't want it to just be a cluster of just one color. How we doing on time? 10:53. Ay Dios, we have an hour left. Okay. Excuse me as I took a sip. All right. So let's see some more purples. I think I can go back with these to kind of like add on top of it. You see what I mean? Just to kind of bring it. Yes, that's the move. Okay. So anyway, so the point of it all, like of today, is the importance of protecting your crown, you guys. Like your crown, your mind, your spirit, your auric field, your energetic field. Those are things that are 100% free game if you don't claim authority over it. And last I heard, we are all free and sovereign souls. At least I like to think that. So I'm not going to allow anyone and just anybody to come and think that they are going to just sneak into my field to siphon my energy. No, I don't consent, period. I don't consent. I do not consent to that. That's absolutely bonkers. If you have a problem with your energy, then take it up with the Lord. Do something for yourself. Don't try to steal other people's energy like that. You don't think that comes back around? Oh, yes, it does. But not by my hand and not by my tongue, honey. Not by me. Yes. I'm wondering, can you hear the ruffling of the flowers? Obviously, I can't hear, but can you hear the little rufflings? We're giving ASMR this morning. Yes, we are. Yes. Stop it. So see how that kind of just breaks that out a little bit? I love. And then you can just like hold it into position. Hi. We're just holding her here. Yes, thank you. How we doing, Chad? Ay, qué lindo. Look at all of you. Listen, I'm just grateful to just have a person. It's just it's awesome to be able to share these crafts and skills with you all and hopefully inspire you, you know, because maybe you're not into painting, but maybe this might be something. And guess what? Ladies and maybe a gentleman. Halloween. If you start to do this, you can sell these. Not me putting y'all on a business idea. Of course I am, because why would I gatekeep that? That's crazy. Make the money. Do it. Like if you can do this type of stuff, especially if you're in Mexican communities, like, look, pay respects to the people. You know, you don't want to be a culture vulture. Absolutely not. Like, but flower crowns kind of come in everything. You know, like every culture has like a version of it or some type of crown headdress. And if that's really what you're into, like there is nothing wrong with you being able to like create these type of things and sell them, make a little extra money, teach your children. They can do their little side hustle. Like that's a great thing. I don't know, maybe I might one day want to sell these. I don't know, maybe sell my artwork. We'll see, and maybe put it towards something like, you know, put it towards a charity or something like that. I have to still like look at the logistics of that because, you know, with a lot of these charities and things that you do, there's a lot of legalities and you have to be very mindful and cautious of like how you know, go about that, depending on like if you do a giveaway, if it's also international. There's like a lot of like fine print that you need legalities. Like you need someone with a legal background to be able to do that. And right now, I don't have an Ann Gallagher, not yet. And look, she does something totally different. But you know, maybe one of them, maybe we manifest that I will be able to share my talents with the world and be able to give it towards something for a greater cause. Amen to that. You know what? Cheers to that. I could cheers to that. I can cheers to that. And I can do a little this to that too. Yum. Yum. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Like, I mean, I'm just open to whatever. I feel very blessed and abundant in my life. And sharing that abundance is whatever you have to give, to share skills, wisdom, sharing that abundance with others who might need it in that moment. And they take that and take it and use it in their own way for their own life, to share it with their own circle. It just ripples all of this positive energy outward. You know, because I, again, will always say there's enough room for all of us to grow. My idealist behind is more like I want to grow with everybody. But, you know, I know that's too much of a idealistic way, at least for now. Maybe it will change. Maybe people will be more receptive to opening up their generosity and their kindness and their ability to share and learn abundance. That like when you're abundant, it only multiplies. Did you know that? When you are abundant, it will multiply. So there's no need to feel like you need to come for someone's neck. Oh, I love that little purple. Oh yeah, sorry. I just got very distracted by that beautiful little flower. Definitely using these. So now, since we don't have any of this color, I think it's kind of nice to play on these lighter ones and add that right there. And then I'm going to measure it on my head to make sure that I'm not like having like this happening or like it's like destroying my ear. Mira que cute. I love it. So let's add this purple, this lighter purple. Yes, Melanie. I love an abundance mindset too. Like, I mean, I teach, if you watched Boston Bia, her roundtable, the financial episode that I was on with Money Mike, I mean, I teach my daughter that. It's like money and energy, all of that will be multiplied with your generosity. And but it has to come from the heart. It's not like I'm trying to do this because I'm trying to gain something. It has to be because you are so content in your life and you feel so fulfilled that you have the capacity to pour into other people's cups because yours is overfloweth. Okay. And that's where I am right now. It's like I feel so blessed in my life, and I thank God every day for it, that to do these type of things, to inspire someone to maybe start a business by doing a craft, or to have a little side hustle to make a little extra money. Encourage the entrepreneurial spirit. Encourage it, because I know some of y'all are not happy at your jobs, and if maybe this will be your way out, and I don't do it for me personally, but even so, if I ever needed to, I will. If I need to become a baker and work at a bakery, I worked at bakeries. I worked for people, and it was, cleaning floors, doing all that stuff, because to me, it's not like no job is bigger or better than another. And in order for you to become a successful entrepreneur or someone who is going to pursue any type of career, you got to know all the steps of your business. You have to know what people in certain positions, in every position in your company, are going to do, and not be afraid to also do the work too. Like, I would be the type of boss that is like, you need help cleaning this? I got you. I mean, the way the pyramids are structured right now is that everyone at the bottom has to work and do all the crap that, you don't really want to do. And the people at the top just collect, and they sit at meetings all day. Like, I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all laughing, kiiiiing? Like, y'all probably watching YouTube videos. Stop playing with me. And you're making $3 million an hour. Okay? like there is something nice about being able to be productive and to do things and to encourage people to want to work for you. When you treat people well in your businesses or whatever it is that you have, people will yield results. Duh. So give them the little extra time. If somebody needs extra time because they need to go see their children's performance, P.S. we'll talk about that the next live. Okay. We'll talk about the next one. But if you are going to if they need to go because they have a doctor's appointment, they need a day off, they need a mental health day, whatever the case may be, obviously within your capacity, be generous with people. Don't look down at someone's job because it doesn't come with a college degree or whatever. Because who's really making all the money this summer? The pool people. The ones with the little vacuums in the pool. Very humble job. I'm just cleaning a pool, but you're making bank, bro. Yes, congratulations to that, because maybe I need to learn how to do that. You know who else? The AC, the HVAC people. They're making bank right now. But people look down upon it because it's like, oh, it's not an Ivy League education. Man, that Ivy League thing coming from a millennial who bought into that is a scam. Scamola. The education is the same. The only difference is that you're paying more money for a network. That's really what the T is with that. So, when my mom is like, you have to go to college. Yes, but me going to college for a gift that I already naturally was born with, girl, that's a waste of money. To me, my mindset was where I fumbled was I should have learned the business aspect of something to be able to know how to turn these crafts into a business. That's what I wish. If I could go back, actually, no, because you know what, then maybe I would have never done YouTube. I don't know. I think my life has taken a very interesting turn through all my life that I'm happy where I'm at. But you know what I mean? Sometimes you think about it. But you know what? It does give you the perspective and advice that you're going to, I'm going to push my daughter in a totally different way. Create and facilitate a method for her to be able to make money on her own with the things that she loves to do and encourage that. Oh my God, look, I just took these cutesies. Look at these little cutesinis. They're like little tinies. And then look at these little babies. Stop. So hold on, let me look at the chat. Yes, Christy, that's awesome. And that's beautiful that you have that rapport with them. Like some people think that like the jobs that you do because you work for other people, like, girl, you're the CEO of your own thing, okay? Don't ever let nobody trick you out your spot or your position, okay? Like you're doing your thing and then you build a good relationship with people. And that's what counts here is having great relationships with people and the intentionality behind them, that it's rooted in respect and it's rooted in collaboration of like, yeah, I'm doing this for you. But then, people treat you like family when you show up excited to do what you're going to do. Like some people out here got the game messed up. And then you don't think that like if you're out here on the internet acting a fool, that's not going to reflect in your business? Oh, you don't know who's watching. You don't know who's watching, who's paying attention to things. So you got to be careful. Present yourself, be presentable. Would you believe it that our parents and people before us, look at people back in the day, in the 1920s, when even if it was a family that didn't have money, they invested in being presentable. There is something to be said about putting yourself together. Like even for me, like I'm like, oh my God, look at these little baby hairs. Yeah, thank God the hair is still growing, even I'm entering into, the perimenopauses. But, they put themselves together. There is something about feeling good in the way that you present yourself. And that's not just through the physical, it's your energy. It's how you are with people, like being kind to people, being like, and that's something that I had to learn. But also, let's not get it twisted. Not letting people step on you because of that kindness, okay? It's a new moon in Taurus, honey. We're setting very different intentions at 40 because I woke up and I was like, oh, this is 40? Yeah, no. I extra don't care anymore. I extra don't care. I extra don't care. How many people in the chat woke up at 40 and were like, actualmente? I don't care. Respectfully. So let's keep going because, it's already 11:07. And I want to add a little bit more of this zhuzhing here. We need to add a little bit more yellow, especially towards the end. But let me see what it looks like on my head first, okay? Oh, stop. I mean, minus the bun, but you see what I mean? It's just like so pretty. So I feel like we need something here. And I don't do measurements, so I'm just feeling it out. So like where my glasses are, so like I'm not going to go outward. I kind of want to just like continue to keep it here. So I'm going to add a few more of these flowers. Yes, I know the 100s are for the people who are like, I woke up and I don't give a Yes, more of that energy. This is why, listen, ladies, when you start getting to this age, for anyone who's younger than 30, okay, or 35, the reason why, honey, people are like, oh, menopause is the most terrible time. No, menopause is when you actually walk and you're like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. Like literally, like you reach that era and you're just like, in my perimenopause, you're not gonna fool me. In my menopause, you're definitely not gonna fool me. Like it's just very much like a woman really comes into her own. So they mask it as, oh, your value goes down. You're not important anymore because you reached this phase. No, actually, I'm at my best. What are you talking about? You're just shaking and you're shivering in your boots because I see you more clear than before. That's really what it's about. So an older woman gets minimized for her value because she's wiser and she's not going to be as compliant or obedient to the BS anymore. That's really why they try to downplay or try to like make it seem like, oh, you're going through menopause. Ah, like it's like, well, that's a natural part of life. But honey, like wine, we just get finer, okay, with time. Yes. Yeah, forget about that. So, whatever red pill, blue pill, orange pill, elemental P pill, whatever it is that y'all into, all of the trends of like, one day everybody's super liberal, one day everybody's super conservative. How about we just respect people where they're at and accept it as such? So even if you're a deviant, I accept you at your deviancy. Very far the fuck away from me. How about that? And if we're vibing, I accept you at these vibes, girl. Yes, we're vibing. Okay. And also too, like I feel like if anything, like the women who have come after me and the women that I'm around now who are just like a little bit older than me, I have so much respect for them because it's like what they've taught me is showed me the ropes on how not to forget my own power and how not to allow societal standards or whatever, things that people want to trick us with to continue to fool us into obeying these archaic rules that it's 2026. Why are we still doing certain things this way? Why are you still minimizing the power and the value of a feminine energy? I don't understand. And despite the fact that I'm a girl mom and in my culture, I'm sure many people in other cultures can relate to the fact that, the boy is paramount. But here we have a whole bunch of freaking boys who can't even clean their behind properly. Because it's the mommy boy. No, you're supposed to be protecting my ass. That's okay, but if you want to be in your girl boss era too, girl, go off. I don't care. You could do whatever you want to do. But for me personally, I prefer I understand what my divine role is. That's different than a societal role. If I'm a soft energy, that's just how women were made. It's not that, the softness isn't equated to strength. Oh, she's strong. She's very strong. She's very resilient. But I like to feel protected. Why is that a problem? I like to feel like I make really good food and everybody's eating it and I can sit back and be like, I did that. Call it whatever you want to call it. But I enjoy being a woman. I'm very proud to be a woman. I love that. I love being around other women who empower each other and that are like, girl, you're worth something. Don't allow people to trick you out your spot. You're a beautiful creature created by the divine, honey. No wonder people want to be us. No shade. No wonder. Because we got the it, okay? We got the it factor. Okay, I need y'all to remember that. Oh, yes, I'm going to add this little guy here. I'm going to add these little, petally ones. Since we have these little petally guys on this side, I'm going to start adding these towards the end to kind of keep it, in this area here. So let me move this. But yeah, I enjoy being a woman. And look, I love my men too. They also have their place, but it's when we are vibrating in our divine energy, regardless of gender, because we have both masculine and feminine energy, it changes the vibration of the planet. Literally, it changes the vibration of the planet. And when you step into that power and you pick up that call from the divine to be like, yo, you ready to work? And you're like, yes, sir. It changes everything. It changes everything for you. So I always encourage people, it's never too late to, step into your role, step into your power. And I do feel like people have to set the precedent. So menopause is such a terrible time in a woman's life. And they'll be like the hot flashes. They focus on only the negative, but then it's maybe I'm getting these hot flashes because I could finally release all of the things that I've been suppressing from my youth to meet your expectations that you have set for me. Do you know that women are like number one in having like autoimmune diseases? We keep a lot of things inside. We're told you cannot speak out. You cannot be this way. You can't do this. You can't do that. There's all these freaking limitations. And then we pay for it with our health. No. No. That's why, like, I feel like, maybe I was put on this earth to encourage the feminine to never forget her position. That's what I feel. I feel like I was given a divine power and a divine task to encourage the feminine by creating all of these beautiful things to never forget her strength and power. Because for too long in history, it has been forgotten. It has been disguised as a problem. It has been, shut to the side, minimized. It's been, and there's no hate to men, but I'm not a man. So I can advocate for men too, and I will when the time is. But, for the feminine, as a woman, I feel like it's become my responsibility where I'm like, this is important. I have a daughter. I have to lead by example for her. And I'm not going to allow myself to forget my position. Ladies, we got to step up. We got to step to the plate and remind these people that when we get to that pause area, maybe the pause is because we finally get to reflect, to be like, I spent half of my life being obedient, not the last half. That's the pause. So yes, and men owe pause. Men owe pause. The fact that men is in there and then pause, like men, pause. You like that play on words, right? All right, so see, so that added a little more of a pop. It's very subtle, but it just kind of starts to tie and blend these little guys. Hold on, this lighting is like, oh, there we go. It starts to add just like a little bit more of that color. So now I'm going to end with the yellow at the end. And I might go in with this one just because it'll start to pick up that color, that yellow from that center point. Yeah, buddy. Yes. Oh my God. Who used to watch Jersey Shore? I know for a fact that Miss 808 and I are like, give it. I used to love Jersey Shore. Oh my God, we got Boston Bia and we got Boston Brandy. The Boston Baddies are here. Hey. Tea, girl, tea. Cheers. Thank you so much for being here. We're making a flower crown because, sometimes some people out here really think that they can knock it off, honey. No, we're going to create a cute one and we're going to remind these people you tried it, but you can never. Okay? And since you're here, girl, look, I made this. Look how pretty. Oh, stop it. And then I also made this one. This is my show and tell. I made this one. Yes. I've made several, but these are the ones that I can only bring up in addition to this giant box of like Michael's florals that were on clearance. Yes, we create beautiful things with things on clearance. Okay. So now we're going to add, since, I said my hellos to everybody, give it. We're going to add our little flowers to the ends. And I think that should be it in terms of like just the shape, because we don't want the flowers to be doing the most. And what I am going to do though, is position this little flower. Since we're getting towards the bottom, I'm going to move it back just slightly. And the reason why is because the petals will kind of start to create a little bit more volume towards the back without it sticking directly out. So we don't want it to be like this. We want it to kind of flow. So you'll see what I mean in a second. I should have brought scissors, but I didn't do that. Whoops. So again, we have our other tools. So I'm just going to rip these apart, let out some aggression. There we go. Yo, this hot glue gun has been working today. She's like, girl, I'm here keeping your glue nice and warm. All right, so let's add that there. Here we go. And then I'm just gonna add it towards the back a little bit. So like angle it towards the back and hold it in place like that. See? So it still kind of flows with this line, but it's not so like, you know, out to the side. Here we go. And it still gives us the color contrast that we're looking for. All right, so I gotta hold this one in place. All right, yes, the Boston Beardies are here. Yeah. See, who said that because of these sports that New Yorkers and Boston people, the Bostonians, can't get along? Please. We have more in common than you think. Okay? We have lots of great things, you know, lots of great things in common. All right, so let's hold this in because as you start to get towards the bottom, like gravity is going to just make it like kind of flop over. So I'm just going to hold it in place. Yes. Listen to my baddies that are texting me. Give me a second. I got to put it on mute. Y'all are distracting me. I want to know what's going on. No. Anyway, so yeah, y'all, like for real, on some real, we have to protect our crown. That is just, you got to stand in your power. Ladies, I am calling for all of you to protect your crown, protect your position. You are a feminine this lifetime for a reason. If you have daughters, you are the matriarch. You are the example. Protect that. It is a divine gift to be whatever you are born as. I know that society has convinced us that we need to look like a Kardashian with a culo the size of, you know, Timbuktu, honey. But if the genetics were not there, squats and RDLs, Bulgarian split squats might help. You may not be getting it to Timbuktu, but you might get it across the street. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to do all this extra stuff. Don't let all these societal beauty standards and all this BS tell you anything. And as you age, step into that power. Because one, what a privilege it is to be older, wiser, and more of a baddie. To me, I think a woman who is fully in her feminine energy at her age, when she's experiencing menopause, perimenopause, whatever the case may be, it's almost like our nervous system is like, you know, like shaking off all of the BS we've been fed. You know, like the hot flashes are like, oh, you know, like obedience, absolutely not, or sweating it out of our system. You know what I mean? Like, oh, compliance, no. You know, it just like goes away. No. Step into your power. You're needed here. And the youth needs us more than ever. We need more feminine figures that are, you know, truly committed to evolving and to teach the youth. Like we need the aunties back. We need the wisdom keepers, the ones who are, you know, giving the advice. Yeah, you and I shake. What was the thing I sent you? That you could do it with your back into it, but the beginning of that song where it became like a thing on the internet where they're like, yeah, like that. It's like you're shaking all the bullshit away. Like, oh, absolutely not. Let it go. Let it go. I'm not a singer. I'm sorry. I'm very talented in many things, but you know, the voice is struggling. The voice is struggling. I can kind of hold a pitch, but that's about all you're gonna get. Okay. So let's continue. Let's add this beautiful floral. And also, how relaxing is this? You're like, you know, oh, don't mind me. It's just Saturday and I'm here at 11:23 just putting flowers on a freaking headband. Oh. Cortisol levels are calm. Okay. They are calm today. Oh my God. I am so into this right now. It's so pretty. Stop. We're going to try it on in a second just to see if the flowers have reached the point where they need to be. And we're going to start shifting things around a little bit. So we're going to add a couple more in these like little areas here to round out the shape as well. Oh, Gorgina. And also y'all, like, listen. Hello, Sicily lover. I am sorry I'm not painting today, but we are making crowns. You know, another one of my talents. Oh, so many tricks. No, just kidding. But, you know, I just thought, why not? And listen, like I said earlier, y'all might really be into this, and this could be a side hustle for you. And if you need help or tips on how to do it, please hit me up. My Gmail is in the description somewhere, either in the description box or on my profile. Like, if you want to start this stuff, I'll tell you when to go to Michael's. I mean, sometimes I know, but like sign up to Michael's when they have like flowers on clearance. They obviously do the clearance after every season. So if you can load up on, and you have the space and the capacity to be able to like collect a couple of different options for you, just do that. Go to the dollar store, get a headband and start getting to work. It's very therapeutic to like just do that and just create something beautiful. We are feminine after all. For the ladies, and listen, for the masculines, enjoy it, okay? You like something nice to look at. Stop playing. I know there's some men that they're like, whoa, these flowers are actually really nice. Yes, I know. Hello. All right, okay, so let's see. Stop it. Wait, this glue is a little hot still, so let me calm down because I don't want this to get stuck on my hair and the few hairs that I got left. No, absolutely not. Yes, please. I love all that stuff. I love to see what people are doing and working on because it's just as an artist, like it's just nice to like have a community of people who are just interested in creating really cool stuff and do it. Do it. Sell your work, put it out there. If this is a new skill, like I obviously really love flowers and it's just like making different interpretations of flowers by creating crowns, doing it on your painting, drawing, etc. All right, so let's try this on. We're ready? Let me move this. Oh my God. Oh, hey. Oh, yes. Oh, you see what I mean? I feel like I should be like in Madonna's Vogue. Yes, God, period. Okay, stop playing with me. What? Yes, I love so pretty. I love the combination of like different colors. How do we feel? Do you think that we should add a little bit more? Because I tend to get carried away. I'm not gonna lie. I love to get carried away. So cute, right? And this is just the beginning because this is just like the foundation. This is a pretty good foundation. I feel good about it, but how do we think? What do we think? And Miss Sicily Lover, look, I made this. I did that. I made this. Because we still, this is the base, but then we got to add all the cutesy things. And I made this one too. Love. Oh, love. Oh, Miss 808, she's like, leave it alone. I love it how it is. Look at Miss 808, so encouraging. I love you just the way you are. But listen, if we can add a little bit more space, I'm going to do that, girl. You know me. All right, so we have about half an hour because, like I said, I have to have a hard 12 o'clock stop because I have somewhere to be today. We'll talk about it in the next live, which again, quick re-announcement. Next Saturday, I will not have a live. If I choose to go live earlier in the week, I will be sure to post it in my community page or wherever the YouTube thing is. So, if you guys want to go live, we might go back into painting, or if I don't finish this, it might be a good opportunity to do the other one. And then what was the other? I always forget the second announcement. The brain fog is real, but you know what? That's fine. That's like, God, cállate. Be quiet. Anyway, so I think for the flower aspect, I might want to add just like a little zhuzh. I don't know yet. Let me figure out my zhuzh. But I'm going to look into my bin of magical things. And we're going to look at other types of interesting foliage that I want to add. Because I do think that as much as I love all of these colors, I do want to give like some leafage, some foliage, or like a little extra. Like I have a bag of all these interesting things. Like look at these little guys, these little pom-poms. The little pom-poms, they're very cute. We have like, lots of, we have it in purple too. Let's see, let's play, let's experimentate. And then I have like the foliage bag. Hold on, not me leaving this unzipped. Excuse me, hold on. Listen, I need y'all to calm down. Get back in there. So let's do that. And then the only way I'm able to keep them all is that I have to like press them for dear life. and then seal it and hope that it just fits in the box and that I don't have to be struggling, like applying all this pressure and weight to get everything to fit in the box. How many of us are guilty of that, especially at the airport? We need to learn the Marie Kondo way of packing things. She's like, if this doesn't bring you any joy, get rid of it. But I'm like, but what if everything does give me some kind of joy? Or it might give me joy 3 weeks from now when I remember that I had it. How many can relate? How many can relate? Yes. Okay, so see how these like little green foliages, how cute are these? These could be kind of like, like kind of like added like for a little height. Oh! She has sprung. I love it. So we're going to find more of these. So excuse me as I look into my bag of foliage to be able to find some like cool little like green aspects. And again, because I forgot my scissors, use all your strength. Yes. Oh my God. Look. I love surprises like this. It's so fantastic. Hold on. What else we got in here? Who we got in here? Let me see. Look at these. Look at how cool that is. These look like little like eucalyptus. That's what it looks like to me. But like I like this color palette too because it still picks. You see how it's like very subtle. I think I'm gonna use some of these too. What do we think? How are we feeling in the chat? Thank you so much, everybody. Oh, I'm so glad you like it. I love when I'm like, girls can be girls, that we could just be like, it's so pretty. I love that. Because sometimes we need those moments too. We just need to feel like good in our feminine energy and just like appreciate something pretty. Like all of you. Stop. Like this is a big old leaf. Where am I using this? I mean, like kind of iconic. What if at some point, Amira, if this was after hours, honey. Oh. Listen, we're keeping it PG, even though it's not made for kids still. Okay, maybe your children are listening. That's why I'm trying to be mindful of even the words that I use, certain, cuss words and such. I'm trying not to do that too much anymore. I don't know, it just doesn't hit the same. Well, especially like if you're like happy, why do you need to curse about it? Like when you're angry, it's justified. Not my hair trying to be in 5 different area codes. Girl, get it together. But yeah, like, do I have any more of these like sagey leaves? I'm really not trying to take all of these out. Let me see. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, this could also work as well. See, like I like these lighter with the darker. So you have like contrast there. Yeah, like I'm just like kind of like, I don't know. Maybe my madre was right. Maybe I don't need to do all this extra and be cursing and stuff, because it's like, you could be a trucker. That's fine. That's your vibe. That's cool. But, it doesn't always have to be like that, in my opinion. I'm just trying to be better about that. I can't guarantee. I cannot make any guarantees, but we can try. So, all right. So let's see what we have with these two. I do love these like little branchy ones. So I think how I like to do it, similar to the little sticks here or in the other one, it kind of creates like the crown aspect outwards. It just gives a little bit more height and more dimension. So look at this little peekaboo. Mira, little alfalfa sprout. You're such a little alfalfa. So with these in particular, though, I will say the difficulty of these is being able to melt it just enough so that the whole thing doesn't disintegrate because the hot glue is so hot. So let's put, let me see, let me think about this. You're watching a very strategic moment happening right now. We're going to go with this. All right, so I'm going to use this, the one that has like a little bit of a longer stick that isn't as curved. Like this type of like natural form is good for like the sides. Because even if it melts, it kind of melts in that position. You see what I mean? But for these, I need a little bit of length to the end. So something like this is a lot better that still has its little, almost like a little foot at the end. as opposed to this that is missing that. So let's go ahead and wish and hope for the best, honey, because these are going to be a little bit hard. These might have to be on the sides instead, like this. I like that too. So instead of it in the center, just kind of have them on the sides and poking through. So let's try that. Let's see what happens. All right. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Let me not burn myself. Oh. All right. Okay. Let me see. There we go. Ow. Not too much. All right. So we're holding her in place. Cute. Let's stay there. All right. Let's leave her there. She's very delicate. So let's add that there. Now let's do the other side. We're going to have them kind of poking throughout the whole thing. And thank you, Lord, that I have another one with a little foot on it. Yes. All right, my lovely. So for those of you who came in a little bit later, earlier, we were talking about the importance of protecting your crown and how there's a lot of spiritual folks out here that don't really say that they are. They're the first to be like, oh, I don't believe in that. But then they're out here, you know, behind the scenes doing some weirdo stuff, you know, like I wasn't born yesterday, honey. 40 years in the game, okay? Like, and especially as somebody who grew up around all that stuff, like I will tell you right now, it is very common. There's a lot of people who practice a lot of weird things, and you just have to just be mindful. And also the importance of being able to claim authority over your spirit, over your auric field, over your energy, over your livelihood. Do not allow people to speak negativity into existence for you. You have the right in the spirit, as in the physical, to say, I do not consent. So whenever you feel like something is off, but it's not related to anything that you've done, because, you know, sometimes people have not very good intentions. What I always do is that I pray to God to reveal the truth to me. And from there, I'll just be like, whatever isn't in alignment with what I am here to do, if people are using their authority and free will to spy or lurk in my spirit, my Akashic records, which I don't think we talked about yet. I asked if anybody knew. We'll get to that in a second. I don't consent. I don't want you to use, I don't consent to my name being used to mask someone's intentions, whether good or bad, without my knowledge. I don't consent to anyone, you know, playing in my face, in the spiritual face either. I do not consent to any type of clownery that does not align with my highest good or what was intended for me and what God has given me. You have the power to do that. Don't allow people to, and it's not like, you know, like what you think this is, that you live on this earth and that people could just go around and play. That's why they gatekeep this information from us so that we could stay ignorant to the power that we truly carry, which is why I tell people your words shape your reality. And there are people that will use your energy, will use their affiliation to you to hide behind your energy so that they're not seen for who they are. You know what I'm saying? And you're not doing that on my time. Miss Erin, thank you so much, my love. Oh my God, Miss Erin is in the chat. Hello, hello. Girl, you came right on time. We're making a flower crown. We're protecting our crown. I've made this in the past. Very cute, very fancy. This one too. Just two of the many that I've made, but you know, I just wanted some nice examples where I added the jewels, because I mean, when you add the jewels, honey, it just gives. And we're just talking about the importance of claiming authority over your soul and over yourself and over what you do, and the importance of also spiritual consent. Because, you know, a lot of people, they pretend like they don't play in the spirit, honey. I see you. I see you. And also educate your children. Like, you know, if people are like, oh, come over my house, come eat this. Not everybody's food you should be eating. Okay? Just like there's certain people like, and look, ladies, I know you will relate to this. How many of y'all been with a man Like he's very, very cute. Very cute. But you know he ain't no good. But then he be laying it down like, take you down. Like literally like, I really want to take you down. No, listen. I see you, Diablo. I see you, okay? Like, you know that he ain't no good, but it's just good, good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is no shade, no disrespect. That's like some demon stuff. You know what I mean? Like, some demon D. Listen, who you choose to be with in that respect, that also you're a channel. You're a channel. Yes, air grinding on the floor. He did do, look, I know there's a lot of Chris Brown. I know he's very controversial. His music has been great. Kind of like, like R. Kelly. Like I saw a video recently where these fabulous ladies were dancing to R. Kelly's music. And I was like, damn, like if he wasn't a weirdo. I mean, but then again, we also don't know the entire story either. And we do, but we don't too, right? Because like he had to take the fall for a lot of shit. And whatever he did do, he should pay for. Let's not get that twisted. But keeping him behind bars was also a strategy so that other people wouldn't be exposed, if you know what I mean. But yeah, like when you decide to share your body, yaddy yaddy, with somebody else who isn't in your vibration, honey, you know that they can energetically transfer their karma to you. Did you know? The more you know. Like literally, that's a real thing, you guys. Like people don't talk about the energetic transfer when you choose to be intimate with somebody. And ladies who have daughters, you have to make sure you teach your daughters this and sons, okay? Because there's a lot of people who are good at masking with the spirit. Like they know how to mask their intentions. They know how to like kind of like project a certain image outward. And then you wanting to see the best in someone, you're like, oh my God, he's so cute. I know he's not good for me, but it's that take you down is so amazing that you're just like, yes. And then all of a sudden he's up and popping and glowing and you're like, shriveling away. That's a transfer, honey. That is an energetic transfer that people don't talk about. And it needs to be studied for real. Like people need to be more aware of that. There's a lot of men who carry a lot of generational trauma and they see your light vibrating and then they're like, I'm gonna take her down and give her all my shit. You know what I mean? Like it's real. Ask me how I know. Like I'm sure all of you have had that one person that he just ain't shit. He's just terrible. He's a horrible man. But you just can't help that he cute though. You just can't help it. Or there's something about him that's very cute and you can't quite put your finger on it. That's a red flag. Like, that is a flag, honey. The flag has a name. It's you can't put your finger on why you're still feeling hesitant. Trust that hesitancy. Don't take on somebody else's energetic BS while they steal all your good light. All that good. Okay, no. We're not doing that today, sir. No, ma'am. No. Hold on. Flower is going down. Because this is the one with like the little angle over here. So I'm going to have to do something to keep it upright. And it might be that I need to glue it. So I want you to see this. So see how it's kind of like, oh, hi, bye. It's like, we need you to stay right there. So I'm going to have to hold this down and also burn my finger possibly. But you know what? Beauty is pain. Just kidding. So I'm going to need you ladies to please be careful with these take you down boys. Key word, he's a boy in the mind, okay? Like you have to be on some boy shit to be like transferring that negativity to my life. Absolutely not. And it's not even like just through intimacy. It's through friendship. It's through platonic relationships. Like, It's through sometimes relationships with, even if you like the same gender and y'all opposite sexes, is even in that. There's a lot of that where it's like you try to siphon someone's energy like that and they hide behind you. And it's like, why am I taking on your burdens? No. We say no to that, okay? We say absolutely not. Hold on. I'm finagling this little guy here. I want her to stay. I want you to stay. Yes. Yes, girl. Stay right there. Wait, let me glue you a little bit more. But be careful. Please teach your children about that. I know it's very awkward, you know, to like talk about that with your kids. Like, ill. Even thinking about it for me, I'm just like, oh God, no. But it's necessary. And it's at least when it's masked about the energetic intricacies that we're not taught about intimacy, that who you surround yourself with does become a part of your blueprint. So, you know, if you want to be in your, you know, WAP era, you know, your city girl era, that starts to read on your energetic signature, and then it starts to send a signal out to everybody else that that's the type of time that you're on. So you have to be very intentional about where you choose to spend your energy, your physical, mental, emotional, financial as well. You have to be mindful of that because, you know, people out here are, you know, pretending, and then it's like, but baby, I see you. I see you very clear. Oh my gosh, she's cute. She's hiding in the bush. You know, she's hiding behind the little like hydrangea leaves, but that's okay. The petals. You see, we gotta hold her right there. Look how cute that is already. I can't. We got 15 minutes. So after I add a few more, I'm going to take a quick break so we can all chit chat for just a little bit. Recap again. And look, maybe we need to do a MASH edition with some of the people in the chat. I think that'd be so fun because that was so fun on Lana's chat. Like, thank you everyone again for who attended, who participated. It was so fun. Like, I still can't even get over the fact that like we did that. Like, she really is such a great sport. I love that about her. Oh, do I want to add a little Rose right here? Where is my girl Rose? Where's Miss Rose? Thank you so much, Miss Karen D. Miss Karen D is so cute. I love her. Like, she always is so encouraging. She's like, look, we're getting, you know, gardening Chimi today. We're getting sourdough Chimi today. You're getting flower crown Chimi today. Yes. I kind of love this tiny baby Rose. Like being like, hi, I found my position. She's going there. She's going there. I feel her there. I feel like you want to be living there. You want to grow your roots right here. Okay. Yes, we're going to add you right there. Now, this is where it gets tricky because we don't have a lot of like a sturdy base because now we're playing with the flowers and positioning the things with the flowers. So I'm going to add the glue to the flower itself and stick it. Stick them up. We're sticking it right here. Hold on one second. And we're going to position it right there. Yes. Yeah, seriously, like Lana is great. I freaking love her. She's so fun. What a gem. What a gem, like truly, like what a gem. And that's what I love about this space is that there's someone for everyone, even all you evil folks. There's someone for everyone, okay? Even you grimy folks, okay? Look at how Gorgina. Look, it's just like a tiny little like, hi, peekaboo, I'm on the side. I love it. It's so like, that's the thing like about this process is that you can truly make it your own and every single one is unique, which I totally love. So let's add this other little baby here. Yes, making crowns for all the queens and also remembering how to protect it. Because when people try to come for your crown and for your neck, redirect that ass, okay? Redirect. We are redirecting and we're learning to protect what is ours. And to encourage all you beautiful ladies, like, please don't forget your power and how beautiful and important you are. And I know that's so cliche to say, but truly, like, we have so much power and we are not taught how to use it properly. It's not about being vindictive or doing any of that stuff. It's about knowing how to use the energy to uplift humanity, to uplift our bloodlines. It's a battle for our souls. You know, I don't know if any of you guys watch, like, or if you have children young enough to see that movie that came out recently last summer, K-pop Demon Hunters. First of all, I have a young girl, and K-pop Demon Hunters, obviously, you know, it's Asian representation. My daughters have Asian, so it was really cool to have that. But secondly, the story itself of what it represents is this battle of when you have this responsibility to protect the world from all of these things, negativity, whatever the case may be, it's a lot of pressure, right? Like, and these three girls were picked as a part of the hunters who protect all of humanity from, like, the underworld, and they have to seal something called the Honmun, which is like an energetic grid to keep our world safe from all of the demons at the bottom. But then, you know, of course, there has to be a Papi Shampoo demon guy that he's cute, Gino, you know, he's very cute. And then the girls are like, oh my God. And then the other one, like, you know, he has abs for days. The other one is very mysterious and very cute. The other one's very romantic, and they sing, they dance, they're very cute, etc. And, you know, the girls are like, you know, trying to give them an opportunity to do the right thing. And they connect, the main girl and the main demon guy connect because she's half demon. So she's battling that. I'm half demon, half, you know, human. Girl, it's called integration. Check out Carl Jung, okay? He got you, girl. It's called integrate. We all got demons. You just got to integrate them. Just letting you know. But that's for the advanced girlies. So, you know, they kind of fall in love, and then I'm not going to spoil the whole thing, but the whole point of that is never forgetting and remembering who the hell you are as a woman. We have a lot of power. I understand now why we're being treated as second-class citizens. I get it. And I get why, like, in certain texts, the focus is only on men. You're afraid of the power we actually hold, honey. That's why you're trying to minimize it. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. I see you. Yes, Miss 808, I know there's like 8 minutes now. 8 minutes, but it's okay. Like, how cute zini are these? I don't have scissors, so I'm not going to do that right now. But you know what? Let me add a couple more leaves, and then we'll stop there before I have to, like, I do have to go. But do I even want to add the leaves? Let me see. So this is also a part of the creative process. Like, play with it. See what looks nice, what doesn't. We were the last ones because, you know, we weren't going to vote for dumb stuff. But then we get manipulated into believing that the masculine has the best intentions, because that's always been how it's been in history. Women are the nurturers, and we, like, even animals, like, you know, you don't see, I mean, the mama is going to protect if she has to, but usually it's the masculine that protects. That's how it is. That's nature. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, that's nature. But when you forget your position, the power that you hold, whether it's to be a boss in your own right or to be a nurturer, like, you have all of those aspects to you. Just own them, and don't let anybody trick you into thinking that you don't have it, because, girl, you got it. Let me see. You know, look, we got like 7 minutes, and I want to talk to the girls, okay, before I go and just recap what we were talking about. So, you know, we're going to leave her here. How Gorgina already. What we can do is that if I do go live next week, again, not Saturday because I have things to do, but if we go beforehand, I'll continue on here, and I really want to show you how to add like jewels to kind of like make it like really pop out. And then I'll bring scissors this time so that I can cut it and not like, you know, rip things in half and turn it into a mess. So let me just clean up while we talk and kind of wrap up here. So hopefully this stream, aside from maybe giving you an idea for a side hustle, you should please take the idea and make it into something if you love it. It's to make you remember that, like, ladies, you're kind of a big deal. Don't let people make you feel like you're not. Do what you feel is right. Remember, as you get older, you become more powerful because you're less prone to believe the BS that you were fed. So anybody being like, oh, you're on menopause. Yes, I am. Thank God. Perimenopause. Yes, thank you. Thank God. Because I see right through what you're trying to do and you're mad about that. That's why you're trying to minimize it and make it seem like it's a bad thing. It's not. And listen, the prophets might have been all hombres, but last I heard, God picked a woman because we have the channel and the vessel to do so, to bring Jesus Christ himself. Where were the guys? She didn't even have to conceive in that way. It was immaculate. It was like, here, ordained. But we're the problem. Mary Magdalene, she was the one watching. She was there with Jesus after he died. Where was Judas? Oh yeah, betraying him. But they always want to put us in like a category of like, you know, the whore, the wench, you know, the witch. It's all W words. Woman, the W word. Look at how we're connecting dots today. Y'all not gonna fool me. No, you're not gonna fool me, and you're not gonna fool the audience. You're not gonna fool Father, Mother, God. It works as a collective system. It is a divine script. And it doesn't matter what religion you subscribe to. You need women to have souls on earth, period. Stop trying to create like mechanical robots that can birth things. Stop it. Stop. I don't consent. I do not consent to being deceived by the BS narratives that we've been fed throughout history. My soul is tired. Yes. This soul is tired. We are tired. We're not. Yes, Miss Karen D, we are not property. We are human vessels just like you. And when you treat us right, honey, you might get a sourdough loaf. I'm just saying. You might get a sourdough loaf. Yes. You might make me feel comfortable to want to submit. And not submit to be like, oh, yes, sir. No, like, all right, fine. You can touch here. Oh. You know, like, you might. Yes, in the womb. And speaking of womb, we are on Mother Earth. Mother Earth. Call me mother. Okay? Mother Earth, who blossoms and glows, yes, who grows all of the trees and fruits and food and creates like the streams and all of these beautiful things. Things are born here. We birth things to be born here. Put some respect on my name. Put some respect on the ladies, okay? I have to advocate for women too. And it's not because there's all men are bad. It's not that. It's just that I think that y'all got the game messed up, okay? We need to remember that our positions are what they are. If you go to the last stream that I did yesterday, not yesterday, but last Saturday, you'll know that we talked about in an ecosystem, everybody has a role. The marigold, the tomato plant, and the basil. Who are you? If you are the tomato plant and bearing fruit, don't forget your position. Please don't forget your position. Don't let people trick you out of your spot with like all of the confusion and then the intimidation factor of like, oh, well, if you don't subscribe to this, then, you know, you're hated for it. Like, okay, then hate me all you can hate me now. Oh, I hate that that's Diddy, but still. You could do that. That's fine. You're not going to trick me into thinking that I can't be here. or that I can't be the female woman, divine feminine that I'm supposed to be. You forgot your position. Don't forget. Please don't forget. So like I said, since now we have like a minute left, 51 seconds, no, 50. Oh, I don't know. Let me stop trying to like think about that. But remember, ladies and the gentlemen, that we are all here for a purpose and a reason. Spiritual people lurk amongst these streets. A lot of people pretend to not be into it, or if they are, they disguise what goes on behind the scenes. And that your physical house is just as important to maintain as your spiritual. Just like you wouldn't let somebody walk into your house that's a stranger, the same needs to be applied to your spiritual house. You cannot let people lurk into your spiritual house because that's where your Akashic records are, okay? It's an access point. Akashic records, just to kind of like, I kind of mentioned it, but we didn't really get into it. I'll say it really briefly. Your Akashic records is the library of the soul, of the human soul. So like everything that you've done or could potentially do is there. Remember like in Harry Potter, when they go into the prophecy room with all of the crystal balls amongst the walls and they have that fight scene in Order of the Phoenix, is that. So be sure that you claim authority over that and you don't allow anybody to have access to it. Be mindful of spiritual places that you go. If you're not drawn to going to listening to a tarot reading, or you're not drawn to going into a spiritual shop, don't go. Don't let people take you there either if you don't know what that's about. Because why would you take someone who if you don't have the natural curiosity to go to those things, you shouldn't be taken there because you don't know what lurks. And there's a lot of people that look like, your regular average Jane, your average Joe Schmo, who, has the Maui shirts and the New Balance with the fanny pack, who is a warlock. Okay? The abuelita with the doilies, who's a bruja. Okay? Oh, you got to be careful with these people out here. You got to use your discernment. Go back to last week if you need to know about discernment. Yes, the videos are hitting because there's just messages here for all of you. And with that said, I really appreciate everyone for being here. Thank you so much for taking your Saturday morning to spend time with me. Again, no live stream next Saturday, possibly at some point during the week if it's feasible and I can do it. But, I'm very grateful for all of you. Thank you to everyone who showed up for Atlanta's stream on the 13th. Thank you also for all the birthday love and all the birthday wishes. I'm so grateful to be in the 40s club, the I don't give a flipping F club. And, for having this moment to create something. I really hope, let me bring my girl here. How beautiful. And then listen. The back is looking a little dusty. Okay, we're going to add flowers to this part as well. But, we'll do that for the next one. And, I hope that you're enjoying your time here. I appreciate you all. My mods, thank you so much for being here. And all of you fabulous people, I'm just grateful for you all. So God bless. Have a wonderful weekend. And wait till the 50s. I'm looking forward to that, God willing. It's in God's hands. Protect your crown. Okay? Everybody, I do not consent. I will protect my crown. I do not consent. I will protect my crown. That's going to be the line. So everybody in the chat, remember that. I do not consent. I will protect my crown. And with that said, this long-winded goodbye. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you at the next one. Yes, cartwheels. Bye.